Marcus, looking ahead to, let's be honest, a difficult game at Stratford. They're newly promoted, just like us. What are your thoughts on the game?
Well, yeah, I mean it's a tough league, isn't it? It's a tough league, so we expect a tough game, whoever we're coming across, and having sort of watched Stratford grow over the last 5 years, they've been quite heavily involved in my managerial career. In terms of when I was from Racing Club Warwick, Quorn and Barwell. So, it's nice to cross paths again in the higher echelons, so I'm looking forward to it.
Is your game plan going to change due to their unbeaten record so far at home in the Southern Premier League?
Well, no, I mean, we approach every game similar in terms of how we want to play, how we want to approach the opposition. Obviously, there's an element of tactics in terms of the knowledge that we have of the opposition, from personnel to style of play. So we acknowledge their strengths, and we acknowledge what we believe where they could be vulnerable, and we will go about our business in the same manner.
2 wins out of 2 now. Is that a sign now we're starting to gel and we're looking like a unit?
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to get the wins. I think game by game you can see things developing. I think we spoke about it last week in terms of there's still lots of things to improve on. But there's the team morale's growing. We're becoming a group. You know, there's little signs that's coming through in terms of behaviour in and around training and after games and before games, and that's a lot of strength to my staff, into certainly Paul O'Brien in what he brings to the club, and eventually in time they could be the difference between a draw and a win. Obviously, on the football pitch side of it, we're tactically getting better. We're understanding each other as individuals and who's good at what, and we're starting to just do that extra little bit of work and effort across the pitch, just which I brought into question last week. Certainly, as we are coming in one group, but the supporters as well, who are starting to feel that they've got a group of players who will give them everything, even if things are not going too well.
No Ollie Fawn, and during the weekend there was no Brett Solkin. Are both of those players available on Saturday?
Yeah, they're both available. Ollie was away, which we knew beforehand. Though the way he finished on Saturday, I doubt if he probably would have been in a good position to play on the Monday. And Brett was unavailable all weekend, and got some headaches and got some decisions to make. I mean, both are very big key players to the club and to the team, but at the same time you've got to look at what's done well previously. And I suppose that's the reason why I'm put at the helm, because these are the decisions we've got to make.
Is it good to have a striking headache where you've got Elliott scoring at the moment? Nick Wright looked lively against Frome and got his first goal for the club at the weekend, and Giovanni Brown's there playing brilliantly but just hasn't found the net, and you've got Courtney as well, who has scored for the club and working well. Is it good to have that headache up front?
I mean, I think we're getting, we're all as a club waiting for the goal scorer who's going to be your 30 goals a year, man. And we would all like to have them. But let's be honest, if we've got a group of players who are going to bring us 60 goals, but only meet 10, 15 each, then that's just as worthwhile. I don't think we're as potent as we'd like to be. I think a lot of people are hanging the hat on wanting an out-and-out number 9 to score all the goals. But as I've just mentioned, if we're going to have a group that's going to chip in at all different stages, but we can have the results and we have the rewards, then, is that an issue in itself? So, it's game by game. We'll see what happens. We haven't had a settled run in terms of a team yet, because of circumstances or performances that's allowed us or allowed the manager to change the the personnel, because we're still trying to find that unique selection. So I'm just really glad everyone's in a positive mood and working towards each other, and wants to be part of it, and have accepted at times the bad news that they've received in terms of not starting, and then when they've come off the bench they've made a difference. I mean, Elliot come off the bench at Froome to score, earned the right to start. Nick's now gone and done the same, so I've got that equation to sort of resolve over the next 48 hours, and or it could be the same scenario, because you know what they're going to bring off the pitch. So I personally think everything's on the up, and I think it's probably good that we were slow starting, because we might have been raising expectations far too high too quickly if we'd gone running away with things. It has been a tough start, but performance-wise and being as close in the games as we are certainly will give us a lot of strength going into a very competitive September, being away from home for the majority of the time, and a key month in the FA Cup as well, which is something the club love and do well in, which is something I will be bringing home to the players as they're new to the club, that there is a massive heritage in the FA Cup with this club.
One bit of little transfer news. Jamie's gone to rugby. What's your decision behind that?
To be fair, it wasn't a decision as such by myself. Basically, after the Leamington game, I made the decision to bring Enol in, purely because of the mistakes that were made, that Jamie acknowledged, and when posed the question if that was an outfield player, what would you make the same decisions? And yes, you would. The guys were neck and neck throughout pre-season. We were undecided who was going to be who. So if I wasn't to make the changes, it would be a question, well, when would I make that change? So, and Jamie accepted that, in fairness, and he's been professional ever since. And following the performance of Enol over the last two games, Jamie sort of said, look, I want to still compete and I still want to earn my shirt back, but I'm worried about my game time, which as a goalkeeper I think he should be, and he's asked the right questions. Outfield players can be manipulated and done in different manners in different ways, but goalkeeping, he could quite easily lose his sort of match day fitness very quickly, and when his opportunity comes again, and which it will, he wants to make sure he can grab it with both hands and be ready. So he asked the question if he can go out on loan. Now, previously I was asked by a few clubs whether or not they could take him on loan, and I refused it. But with the player coming to me, and we've put a few provisos in there in terms of that suits us as a club, and the only exception that he's today is the night where he can go up there and train. The rest of the nights he will be with us in training. Go give him game time, and it's a level only a league below, so it's going to be competitive enough for us for him to be playing at, and certainly FA Cup fixtures he will be available for us, and he will travel with us and be with us, as well as the FA Trophy games as well. So it's a position in which we can provide, or rugby have agreed to give him games at a level that we are really happy that he's competing and getting his minutes in.
Fantastic. Lastly, Marcus, the club have always had a healthy away following, and we've got basically near enough a whole month away now in the league. Since your return to the club, have you been proud of the away following? And
I mean, it's you on Saturday you're walking around the ground and you're bumping into Kettering people, and you're not bumping into the opposition. So I just hope they stick with us and stay committed as they always are at travelling away, because it is going to be a tough month, and certainly some of the fixtures we're going to need them shouting behind the goal and helping us pulling it in, certainly like they did on Saturday previously. So it's going to be tough for us all. It's going to be a time where we're going to forget what it's like to be back here at Latimer Park. So we need them, and I hope they come in their numbers. Certainly for the FA Cup game at Market Drayton. Stratford is a lovely ground. I know it's a new ground for Kettering to come to, so I think a lot of the fans probably should come and tick the ground hopper box off. And if we can give the rewards in terms of points and performance, then there's no reason why they can't travel to the rest of the games.
Well, Marcus, wish you luck on Saturday, and good luck.